Alright, welcome again to Mummy's Monthly Meals with Natasha Radburn. I'm going to teach you today how to make borscht. This is not the traditional borscht of Russia or Ukraine, or Mennonites or anything. It's my own concoction recipe, including beets and cabbage, because my mom wouldn't teach me. So I had to learn myself, and this is how I decided to make it, and this is how it tastes really good. So this is how I make it, and you can use whatever recipe you want, but this is how I do it. So first of all, I start off with 2 pots on the stove. One is full of boiling water, and one is empty, completely empty. They're both large pots. Next of all, anything that I'm cutting up, so I'm cutting up an onion right now, anything that I'm cutting up that has the skin or the outer layer or the tops of the celery or the peel, I'll have to peel the carrots. Anything that I'm going to do, it's going to go, anything of the vegetables that I won't use in my soup, I'm going to peel or cut, and I'm going to put it in the boiling water. And that is going to be your stock. And it's all the richness of the nutrients and the vitamins and the minerals of the vegetables that you wouldn't normally eat. You'll use the water, and that'll be your stock. So this is the outer layer of the onion, and it's going into the pot of boiling water. Next, I'm going to just dice up the onion. I'm going to do it all while we're talking. If you want, you can throw in a couple cloves of smashed garlic or cut garlic into the stock pot, or the one with the boiling water, as well as a little salt and pepper. Now I know I don't usually use salt, but with this one I do, because there is no other flavor. And I only use just, again, like half a teaspoon, maybe a teaspoon of salt. I just did a little sprinkle. Alright, so now you get your onions and you dice them up. Be pretty chunky, that's fine. You're going to put it on, because there's no liquid or oil. I don't oil pans. I always use just water, and we're going to be using the stock anyways instead. Alright. So no oil in the pot. I'm putting in my diced onions. You have to bear with me. I hurt my wrist yesterday, and I don't have the mobility I usually have. Alright, so I have my onions in there, and they're going to start to cook. Next, get some celery out. I washed mine already, and I'm going to just cut the tops off of them and put those in the stock, and cut the bottoms just about that much off the bottom, and throw that in the stock also, just the whites off. And again, just chunk up my celery into, bite-sized pieces or so. You're going to be pureeing half of your borscht, so it's nice and thick. So you don't have to worry too much about being super small bites. Half of them will be pureed anyways. So it's like a vegetable chowder, but I'm calling it a borscht because that's how I know how to make it, as borscht. Alright, so onion, celery, and next is the carrots. With the carrots, Just going to peel, and you're taking off just the outer layer, just like you would normally peel a carrot. But your peel is going to go into the water, as well as the top of the carrot and the bottom of the carrot. You're going to take that and throw it into the stock. And then you're going to cut your carrot just into bite-sized pieces again. I take a paring knife and I cut it right over instead of on the cutting board. You do whatever you feel comfortable doing. People that come over and they see me cutting with a paring knife, that my thumb gets the blade, they always are like, "Oh, that's so scary." But it's really not scary if you get the technique down right. You won't cut yourself. Paring knife isn't, it's sharp, but it's not gonna cut through your finger, because you're not gonna get it on the angle to cut in. And again, probably want, well, it's 1 onion, you probably want about 4 celery stalks, and you probably want about 4 carrots for the nice pot of borscht that we're going to make. I just realized that I have to get this done in 15 minutes or less, because my husband told me I can't put a 15-minute and 4-second video. I have to get it done. Alright, again, crush your garlic into the pot. Probably want about 4 cloves. This is a super healthy soup. Super healthy and delicious soup. It's actually one of my favorite soups to serve people. If you've ever been to my house for lunch, this is usually what I make you. And focaccia bread. And that is part 2 of the recipe. So I did about 6 cloves. That's fine. And again, you want your carrot peeled. And bows off. Once you start hearing a sizzle in your pot that your soup is actually being made in, you want to get a little bit of liquid in there. So even though your stock hasn't been brewing for very long, I'm just going to take a little bit of it. Don't put the peelings in. Just put a little bit of that flavorful water in. It's not quite yet stock, but it will be. And you're just gonna turn that on. Next, get your zucchini. Now, I only have half a zucchini to work with because I sent my husband for a zucchini, and he came home with a field cucumber. So I have half a zucchini still left from another time. So I'm using that. In all fairness to him, field cucumbers and zucchinis look very similar. And he was nice enough to go to the grocery store for me on his way home from a meeting. On his birthday, that's right. What a nice husband. Alright, so just kind of dice it. I cut it into quarters and then quarters lengthwise, and then I'm just cutting down the line. So if you have a full zucchini, that's what I highly recommend. And you put it all in there. Next, take your potato, cut it into 4 lengthwise, and then again, cut it into the pot. Basically putting all of your vegetables in and letting it cook and then pureeing it. It's really easy peasy. And I have to hurry because it's 10 minutes already in the video. Alright. So I'm just going to show you. Wowzers. Okay, so your peelings of the potato don't go in the stock. Put that in your compost or garburator or whatever you want to do. That definitely would not make a good stock. The same again with your beets, your beet skin or outer layer of your beets. Don't put that in the stock either. Just your carrots and your celery and your onion. Put your cabbage in. It's not too big of a deal. And I'm just gonna tell my husband to do something for me. Honey,
Yeah.
I know I said not to check my phone before, but I think it's important text. Can you? I think it's Anna.
That's fine.
Alright, so at this point, your soup looks like that, and your stock looks like that. And if I don't get to finish this video, my husband will load it up in 2 parts. Because I'm just doing my carrot now, or my potato now. Alright. Again, you don't need to worry about how big or how small your chunks of potato are. It's soup. And it's gonna be red broth. It's not gonna be like your baba isn't gonna come out there and say, you didn't dice it the way we Russians do. Don't get Russian mad. Don't get a Russian mad. Alright, again, outer layer I'm throwing in the stock pot just because I can. And I know that it's good to glean any nutrients you can. Alright, now give the outer layer of your cabbage a rinse. You're not using the full head of